Today, I'm not just here to deliver a speech, I'm here to talk directly to your heart. This message is for anyone who has been battling illness, suffering from pain, or struggling with the feeling that life has left them behind. This is for the fighters who are tired of fighting, for the dreamers whose dreams feel like they've been stolen, for the souls who feel that their lives have shrunk under the weight of disease and despair. First, let me tell you this: you are not alone. You are not weak, and most importantly, you are not finished. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. These words are more than a quote, they are a reminder. Your scars are not signs of weakness, but symbols of survival. Every day you wake up and breathe is another day you're proving that you're stronger than what's trying to defeat you. Life's challenges do not define you, how you respond to them does. Look at Helen Keller, who became blind and deaf at the age of 19 months. She didn't let her disabilities cage her spirit. She went on to graduate from college, become an author, and inspire millions worldwide. If she could rise above unimaginable barriers, so can you. Or think of Stephen Hawking, diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21. Doctors gave him only a few years to live. He lost the ability to walk, to talk without a computer, to live a so-called normal life. But his mind soared beyond the stars. He became one of the most brilliant physicists in history, changing how we see the universe. You may be sick, but you're still alive. You may feel weak, but your heart still beats with strength. And as long as there's a heartbeat, there's hope. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. My friend, you are the hero of your story. This illness, this pain, this struggle, it's only a chapter. It's not the whole book. Your story isn't over yet. Sometimes when you're suffering, people will say, be strong. But strength isn't about never crying or never feeling weak. Strength is getting back up when you fall. Strength is trying again when you've failed. Strength is looking in the mirror and saying, I'm not done yet. Take Nick Vujicic, born without arms and legs. People wrote him off as helpless. But today, he travels the world as a motivational speaker, inspiring millions with his story of resilience. He once said, if you can't get a miracle, become one. And that's what you're going to do. This is your moment to stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances and start seeing yourself as a warrior of your life. The very pain you feel now can become the fire that fuels your comeback. Let's say this together. I am not my illness. I am not my pain. I am more than this moment. Or say it again louder. I am not my illness. I am not my pain. I am more than this moment. You've survived 100% of your worst days. You're still here. You're still breathing. And that means your story isn't over. This is just the beginning of your journey from pain to power. In the next part of this speech, we'll talk about how to transform your pain into purpose, how to rebuild hope, and how to take action even when you feel like giving up. Remember this quote, the human spirit is stronger than anything that can happen to it. This is not just a speech, it's a lifeline. And today, you're grabbing it. Pain has a way of trying to convince us that life is over. But pain, if you let it, can also become the birthplace of purpose. Every setback, every heartbreak, every diagnosis, it can be turned into fuel. Out of difficulties grow miracles. The question is not, why me? The question is, what now? When you shift from why me to what now, you start to take your power back. You're no longer just reacting to life. You're responding with strength, with intention, with action. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She was born into poverty, faced abuse and countless setbacks, but she turned her pain into her purpose. She became one of the most influential women on the planet, using her platform to inspire and uplift millions. Or Malala Yousafzai. She was shot in the head for daring to go to school. Most people would have retreated into fear, but she chose to rise, to speak, to fight for education for girls all over the world. She didn't let tragedy silence her. She used it as a microphone to change the world. You may not be Oprah. You may not be Malala, but you are you, and that's powerful. Your story, your scars, your survival, they matter. They can light the path for someone else in darkness. Your pain can become your greatest gift if you allow it to teach you and guide you. This isn't just philosophy, it's reality. People who have gone through deep pain often have the deepest compassion, the greatest wisdom, and the strongest spirit. When you're sick or struggling, it's easy to feel powerless. But power doesn't always mean control over your circumstances. Sometimes power simply means control over your attitude, your mindset, your choices. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond, and that's where your freedom lies. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Frankl knew what he was talking about. He survived the Holocaust, lost his family, endured unthinkable suffering. Yet, in the midst of horror, he discovered something profound. Even when everything is taken from you, you still have the power to choose your attitude. That is the ultimate freedom. And it's a freedom no disease, no setback, no pain can steal from you. Here's what I want you to do right now. Think about one small action you can take today, just one, to reclaim your power. Maybe it's writing down your story. Maybe it's reaching out to someone who's hurting. Maybe it's setting a goal, no matter how small. Action breeds hope. Hope breeds strength, and strength breeds miracles. Look at J.K. Rowling, who was a struggling single mother on welfare before she wrote the Harry Potter series. She was rejected by 12 publishers, but she kept writing. She kept going. Her pain became her fuel. Or Bethany Hamilton, the professional surfer who lost her arm in a shark attack at age 13. She didn't quit. She returned to surfing and became one of the best in the world. These are not superheroes. These are people who refuse to let pain define their destiny. Say this with me: my pain will not be wasted. My struggle will become my strength. I'll say it again, louder: my pain will not be wasted. My struggle will become my strength. Every time you speak these words, you're rewriting the story you tell yourself. And the story you tell yourself becomes the life you live. Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it. You have already survived so much. You have already proven your resilience. Now it's time to take that resilience and build something beautiful with it. I'm not saying the road will be easy, but I am saying it will be worth it. You will discover strength you didn't know you had. You will discover hope you thought you'd lost. And you will discover that your life still has meaning, still has purpose, still has the power to inspire others. In the next part of this speech, we'll go even deeper. We'll talk about practical steps to rebuild hope, creating a vision for your future, and how to keep moving forward even when you feel like giving up. Remember this: it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. You're not just surviving anymore. You're beginning to rise. We've talked about surviving. We've talked about transforming pain into purpose. Now let's talk about something even more powerful: rebuilding hope. Hope is not a luxury. It's not wishful thinking. It's oxygen for the soul. Without hope, dreams die. Without hope, strength fades. But with hope, even the impossible becomes possible. Once you choose hope, anything is possible. Christopher Reeve knew about impossibility. He was Superman on the big screen, invincible, untouchable, until a tragic horse riding accident left him paralyzed from the neck down. Doctors told him his life was over, but he refused to let tragedy write his ending. He became an advocate for spinal cord research, inspired millions with his courage, and proved that hope can give life meaning even in the darkest times. Hope is not passive. Hope is active. It's a decision. It's something you choose every day, even when your circumstances scream otherwise. So how do you rebuild hope when you've lost it? The first step is vision. When you're sick, when you're struggling, your world can shrink to the size of your pain. You start thinking only about today, about surviving the next hour, the next treatment, the next disappointment. And that's okay. But to move forward, you must begin to imagine a future again. Close your eyes right now and picture the life you want to create, not the one your illness tells you is possible, not the one your fear whispers you're limited to, the one your heart still longs for. See yourself walking across that stage, starting that business, helping others, writing that book, climbing that mountain. Whatever your dream may be, feel it, see it, believe it. Everything is created twice, first in the mind and then in reality. When you start to visualize a future beyond your pain, you start to tell your brain, your body, and your soul, I'm still alive. I still have something to live for. The second step is action, small, consistent actions that bring you closer to your vision. Maybe you can't run a marathon today, but you can take one step. Maybe you can't launch a business today, but you can write down an idea. Maybe you can't heal your body overnight, but you can nourish your mind, strengthen your spirit, and take care of yourself one small choice at a time. According to Ashi, start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Ash himself faced serious health challenges. Yet he became the first African-American man to win the Wimbledon singles title and later became an activist and humanitarian. The third step is connection. When you're hurting, isolation can feel safe, but it also drains your hope. Find people who lift you, who believe in you, who remind you of who you are. Whether it's a support group, a mentor, a friend, or even a community online, connection is a lifeline. Look at Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, isolated from his family, his people, his freedom. Yet he emerged without bitterness, filled with vision and hope, and led South Africa into a new era. He once said, Courage is not the absence of fear. It's inspiring others to move beyond it. When you surround yourself with even one person who believes in you, hope multiplies. And here's something else to remember. Progress is not always loud. Sometimes progress is just getting out of bed. Sometimes it's making it to your appointment. Sometimes it's simply choosing to live one more day. Celebrate every small victory. Write them down. Speak them out loud. I made it through today. I am proud of myself because these small victories are proof that you're moving forward. Now let's say this together. I have a future. My life has meaning. My hope is stronger than my fear. Say it again. I have a future. My life has meaning. My hope is stronger than my fear. Every time you affirm this, you're rebuilding the foundation of your life. It always seems impossible until it's done. The fact that you're listening to this speech right now is proof you haven't given up. You're still here. You're still reaching. And that means there's still more for you. In the next part of this speech, we'll explore how to maintain momentum, develop daily habits for resilience, and find meaning even in ongoing struggles. This is where you'll learn how to keep going when motivation fades. Remember, success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. You're not just surviving. You're not just rising. You're now building. By now, you've learned that you're more than your illness, more than your pain, and more than your past. You've learned how to turn pain into purpose and rebuild hope. But there's one more piece you need to complete this puzzle: momentum. Momentum is what keeps you moving when motivation fades. Motivation is a spark. Momentum is a fire. Motivation gets you started. Momentum keeps you going. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Anyone can feel motivated for a day. The key is learning how to keep moving even when you don't feel like it. And that comes from building habits, routines, and systems that support your growth, no matter how small they are. Step 1: master the small wins when you're battling illness or trying to rebuild your life. Big goals can feel overwhelming. The secret is to focus on small wins. Small wins create momentum. Small wins tell your brain, I'm making progress. Start with something you can control. Wake up and make your bed. Drink more water. Go for a short walk. Read one page of an inspiring book. Write one line in your journal. Each small act is a declaration. I'm still moving. I'm still alive. I'm still growing. Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. Step 2: build your daily routine. A strong routine is like an anchor in a storm. It doesn't eliminate the waves, but it keeps you steady. Design a simple morning routine that nourishes your mind and body. Start your day with gratitude. Write down 3 things you're thankful for. Move your body, stretch, walk, or do gentle exercise. Feed your mind, read or listen to something uplifting. Set one intention for the day. Today I will. This routine doesn't have to be long. It just has to be consistent, because consistency creates resilience. Look at Maya Angelou. She faced racism, trauma, and hardship, yet she wrote, created, and inspired daily. Her secret wasn't bursts of inspiration. It was a disciplined routine. Step 3: focus on what you can control. Illness and struggle can make you feel powerless. But there's always something you can control: your thoughts, your words, your habits, your response. Do what you can with what you have where you are. When you focus on what you can control, you shift from being a victim to being a creator. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start building it. Step 4: find meaning in the process. It's easy to think, I'll be happy when I'm healthy, or I'll be proud when I reach my goal. But meaning isn't just at the finish line. Meaning is in the process. Viktor Frankl wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. Your why, your reason to keep going, will be your fuel. Maybe it's your children, your dream, your faith, or your desire to help others. Whatever it is, write it down. Look at it every day. Remind yourself why you fight. Step 5: accept the bad days, but keep moving. There will be days when you feel tired, days when you feel like giving up. That's okay. That's part of being human. But here's the difference: don't stay down. Allow yourself to rest, but not to quit. Allow yourself to cry, but not to surrender. Fall 7 times and stand up 8. Momentum isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. Let's affirm this together. I may slow down, but I will not stop. My habits are stronger than my moods. Say it again. I may slow down, but I will not stop. My habits are stronger than my moods. When you live by this, you become unstoppable. Think of Michael Jordan. Before he became the greatest basketball player of all time, he was cut from his high school team. He could have given up. Instead, he practiced harder. He built habits. He created momentum. And that's what made him a legend. You may not be playing basketball, but you're playing the game of life. And every day you show up, you're practicing greatness. In the next part of this speech, we'll talk about how to use your story to inspire others, how to build a legacy from your struggle, and how to keep the flame of hope burning not just for yourself, but for those around you. Remember, perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after the other. You're not just surviving. You're not just rising. You're not just building. You're now leading yourself into a new chapter. Up to this point, you've learned how to survive, transform pain into purpose, rebuild hope, and build momentum. Now comes the most beautiful stage of your journey, using your struggle to inspire others. Pain isolates. Purpose connects. When you take your pain and turn it into something that helps others, it stops being just pain. It becomes your legacy. Your story is the key that can unlock someone else's prison. Think about that for a second. Someone somewhere is going through what you're going through right now. They're scared, hopeless, and searching for a sign. You might be that sign. Step 1, share your story. You don't have to be famous to inspire. You just have to be authentic. Tell your story, not just the victories, but the struggles. Tell people what you've overcome, what you're still overcoming, and what you've learned. Think of Maya Angelou, who once said, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." When you speak your truth, you give someone else permission to speak theirs. Look at Nick Vujicic again. He doesn't just talk about being born without arms and legs. He talks about the bullying, the despair, the suicide attempts, and how he found hope. That's why his message resonates. You can do the same. Whether it's writing a blog, making a video, joining a support group, or simply talking to a friend, your story can save lives. Step 21, serve others. One of the fastest ways to heal yourself is to help someone else. Service shifts your focus from your pain to your purpose. It reminds you that you still matter, that you still have something to give. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Even small acts count. A smile, a text, a listening ear. You don't need to fix anyone's life. Just showing up can make a difference. Look at Mother Teresa. She didn't have much. She was often sick herself. Yet she spent her life serving the poorest and the sickest, and her legacy lives on today. Step 3, become the person you needed. Think back to the moment you felt the lowest. What did you need then? A word of encouragement, a role model, a friend. Become that person for someone else. Be the role model you wish you had. Be the friend you wished for. Be the voice that says you can do this when someone feels like giving up. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. This isn't just about others. When you step into this role, you'll find your own strength growing. Helping others reinforces your own resilience. Step 4, you build your legacy. Legacy isn't about fame or money. It's about impact. It's about leaving a mark on hearts, not just on history books. Your legacy might be raising a kind child. It might be writing a book. It might be volunteering, mentoring, or creating something meaningful. Whatever it is, let your struggles fuel it. Look at Stephen Hawking again. His body failed him, but his mind didn't. His legacy isn't his illness. It's his contribution to science and humanity. Look at Malala Yousafzai. She turned her trauma into a movement for education. That's legacy, and so can you. Carve your name on hearts, not tombstones. The Step 5V. Keep the flame alive. Inspiring others doesn't mean you won't have bad days. You will. But every time you keep going, you're showing someone else that they can too. This is how you create a ripple effect. Your courage becomes their courage. Your healing becomes their hope. Your story becomes their roadmap. Let's affirm this together. My life matters. My story has power. My legacy begins today. I say it again. My life matters. My story has power. My legacy begins today. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Never underestimate the impact you're making. You may not see it now, but years from today, someone will say, "Because of you, I didn't give up." This is the moment where your pain transforms into purpose and your purpose transforms into legacy. In the final chunk of this speech, we'll bring it all together. A powerful closing message about living fully, never giving up, and stepping into the future with courage and hope. Remember, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you believe. And you are capable of more than you imagine. My friend, we've walked a long road together in this speech. We've talked about pain, hope, courage, discipline, and legacy. Now, as we reach the end, I want you to pause and breathe, because the truth is, you're still here. You're still listening. And that means, no matter what you've been through, no matter how heavy life has been, you haven't given up. And that alone makes you extraordinary. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. This speech was never about pretending life is easy. It was about showing you that even when life isn't easy, you can still rise. You can still choose hope. You can still create meaning. Your next chapter starts now. Today is not just another day. It's the day you begin again. It's the day you choose to live, to fight, to hope, and to build something beautiful out of your pain. Say this with me one more time. I am stronger than my struggle. My future is bigger than my past. My story is not over. Say it again. I am stronger than my struggle. My future is bigger than my past. My story is not over. The power of small steps. You don't have to change your whole life overnight. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. You just have to take one small step, then another, then another. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That step might be making a phone call. It might be writing down a dream. It might be reaching out to a friend. It might simply be choosing to wake up tomorrow and try again. Whatever your step is, take it. Because every small step you take builds a bridge from who you are to who you're becoming. You are not alone. Sometimes pain makes you feel invisible, like no one sees you. But I see you. And more importantly, there are people out there who need you, who love you, who are inspired by you. Even if you don't know it yet, you are not a burden. You are a blessing. You are not a mistake. You are a miracle. Never underestimate the power you have to take your life in a new direction. If you're struggling right now, I want you to know, you are not broken beyond repair. You are a work of art still being painted. Your life is a message. Your story matters. Your scars are proof of survival, not symbols of shame. And every time you keep going, you're writing a new chapter that says, I refuse to give up. One day, you'll look back at this moment and realize it was not the end. It was the turning point. Think of every great story. The hero always faces a dark night of the soul before the breakthrough. You're in that chapter now, but your breakthrough is coming. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. Oh, get up, rise again, keep moving forward. Your life is worth it. Your dreams are worth it. You are worth it. Now, I'm asking you to do 3 things. Decide that today is not the end. Decide to fight. Decide to hope. Act. Take one small step today. Anything, just move. Share your story. Be the light for someone else in darkness. Because when you rise, you give others permission to rise too. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. This is how we change the world, not through grand speeches or perfect lives, but through ordinary people refusing to give up, choosing to hope, and lifting others as they climb. If you're listening to this and you're tired, if you're sick, if you're scared, this is your sign. Don't give up. Your story is not over. Your best chapters haven't been written yet. Breathe. Stand up, take one step. And remember these words, the human spirit is stronger than anything that can happen to it. You are that human spirit. You are the fighter. You are the survivor. You are the miracle. And now it's time to live like it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for being here. Your story is not over. It's just beginning.